gives an NFT value? Must DeFi be on more blockchains for its own good? And what do the next generation of leaders in Asia think of crypto? Welcome to Word on the Block, the series that takes a deeper dive into blockchain and the emerging technologies that shape our world at the intersection of business, politics, and economy. It's what we cover right here on Forecast News. I'm Forecast Editor-in-Chief Angie Lau. You may love him or hate him, but he has been one of Asia's most influential tech wizards in the last decade. Nowadays, you can see him chasing after the world's most sought after NFTs or promoting the rapidly surging DeFi ecosystem on Tron. So let's welcome the CEO of BitTorrent, the founder of Tron Foundation, Justin Sun himself. Justin, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
So nice to meet you. Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. So, right ahead of our fireside chat at GBA Blockchain Week, that's coming up on April 1st, let's consider this part one. So, I want to dive into NFTs right now. Beeple's every day is the first 5,000 day auction by Christie's for $69,346,250. You were this close to winning it. And you would have if they had registered your last second bid.
Yes.
Why were you willing to drop $69 million on what essentially is an original JPEG?
Yes. First of all, basically, I believe in the next like 10, 20 years, the majority of the arts will migrate to NFT form. It's just like the first generation Web 1.0 help everybody move media online, right? So today, like New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, everybody read the news online, not the physical form of the paper anymore. And the Web 2.0 move all the connection online, right? So your relationship with your friend, and also all the conversation, chatting is moved online. And the Web 3.0, which we are doing today, help us move all the financial infrastructure online, right? So today, when you like sending money, you will not like ever give like paper cash anymore. So everybody is using blockchain, sending like USDT, USDC, TUSD, those like online stablecoin online. So basically, this is Web 3.0 is doing. And in for NFT, I mean, in the arts industry, I think the trend is like all kind of arts gonna be like move online. So instead of like see all the art pieces in art gallery, I think in the future, like everybody will start to take like digital arts, like their collection. I think for the future billionaire, they will not like show off their art pieces at home, but share their like art pieces basically online. So they can just share the links, like tell the friend this is belong to me. And also in the future, if you want to buy art pieces from your friend, you don't need to go through like today's Christie's. You need to clean the customs, right? You need to send art pieces to another country, which takes like half a year to do so. But right now, you can just like send the TRC-721, only send the token to your friend, right? So everybody know the transaction like happens. You are the owner of these art pieces. So it's gonna be moved to like a completely like a new blockchain. So I believe this is trend of the future generation. So that's why I heavily invest into this like NFT blockchain space from day one. So even I mean today, $70 million seems high, but if you see the ranking of the top 100 like arts, most expensive arts right now, Beeple's art is ranking like 52 or something. But I think in the next like 10, 20 years, 80% of the top 100 most expensive arts gonna be NFT or NFT related art.
Okay, that's the art world. I get the art world.
Yes.
But 2.5 million
Yeah.
for Twitter founder Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet.
Yes.
Is that also art? What is
Yes,
that?
I believe this is also art. So we have lots of definition about artworks, right? First of all, I believe like Jack Dorsey's tweet is like a very important milestone for Twitter and for the history of internet, right? This is like the first tweet ever of Twitter itself and tweeted by the Twitter's founder and CEO like Jack Dorsey. So this is like I think if you have like one piece of art in Twitter's history, this definitely gonna be like one of the most important pieces in Twitter's history. This is just like when Queen like crowned herself, and this is like one of the piece in the crown like ceremony, right? So that's why I believe this is definitely one of the important moment of internet history, which definitely gonna be appreciated by the internet generation, right? So that's why I believe like make this tweet and tokenize it and the exchange
Mm.
by the blockchain is very important. I think in the future we will see like even more this kind of the art pieces in the future. For example,
Yeah.
like the first Instagram, right? And also like the most like view Instagram pictures. I think this is also like a trend. In the future, we will see a lot of the landmarks in the internet history gonna be turned into NFT arts, and people can trade it.
So I get that. I mean, digital artifacts. We're talking
Yeah,
about a moment in human civilization that has really
exactly.
onboarded onto the internet. And what is the
Exactly.
digital representation of that experience, that
Exactly.
cultural moment? I get that.
Yeah.
But with an NFT, how do you share it? What's the value in owning it? Is there value in just owning it? Isn't it already free for people to consume and experience already?
Yes. First of all, I believe in the future, NFT arts is not like only because of the exclusivity. So this is something only belongs to you, right? I feel like the art's value is comes from sharing. So basically, that's also the some idea I want to advocate here. So for example, like for the blockchain spirit itself is unbanked so banked unbanked like people, right? So basically, we provide the financial infrastructure to those people, like they can't even get access to bank in the first place. So for example, like today, everybody can generate their Tron addresses, Ethereum addresses, Bitcoin addresses for free and receive the money for free. There is no like intermediary, and there is no like any middleman, right? Control of the infrastructure or take money from this kind of the infrastructure in the first place. It's fully decentralized. Everybody can own it. So this is also, I think, something like NFT arts or blockchain arts is try to advocate here. So we believe in the future. So every art pieces can be available online, and everybody can visit it. And I believe the value also comes from this kind of the sharing economy in the first place, right? Why like Bitcoin have a huge amount of value is because like Bitcoin can easy, everybody can get access it without like anybody's consent. So everybody can own Bitcoin, everybody can send Bitcoin, everybody can share Bitcoin. So there's no like central parties approve all these kind of the transaction. So I believe NFTR, crypto art has the same value. So everybody can see it, and everybody can share it, like everybody can visit it without the owner's consent. And the value will come from this kind of the massive like traffic in the first place.
And you're already doing it. I mean,
Exactly.
you're creating the ecosystem that actually allows the democratization of
Exactly.
NFTs. And
Yes.
so you just launched publicly the TRC-721 standard that
Yes.
allows a creation of Tron native NFTs. It's also going to be fully compatible with what we're more familiar with in smart contracts in Ethereum, that is
Yes.
driving a lot of NFTs as well.
Yes.
And so I'm curious, you know, as you see this democratization, what are you hoping people will pick up on? What are you hoping that they will build with the Tron NFT? And I note that already you have some celebrities on board.
Yes. Definitely. We have Lindsay Lohan. Will create the first Tron NFT on the Tron ecosystem. So first of all, we offer several advantages compared to our competitor network Ethereum. First of all, is the extremely low mint and gas fee. So we all know, like today, if you try to mint some art pieces on Ethereum, the gas fee is extremely high. It costs you around like 500 to 1,000 US dollars to create art pieces at the peak price. And also the same time, Ethereum transaction speed is extremely low. So it's take quite a long time to complete all the transactions. For example, like today, if you want to mint on Ethereum, complete all the mint process, it may cost you like half an hour to do so. But on Tron transaction, we charge almost zero fee and also instant speed. We can process like 20 times transaction volume more than Ethereum daily. So right now Ethereum process like 1 million transaction per day. So our transaction is already reached $4 million, 4 million transaction, which is 3 million a week ago. And I think it's gonna increase to 15 million very soon. So that's why I believe we can consume much more volume than Ethereum is it doing. So that's why we reduce the threshold of minting TRC 21 7 to 1 for our developers. And of course, we are welcome like not only celebrities but also like common people. Everybody can mint their NFT on Tron Network and share to the market. I believe market is like the judge of everybody's artwork. So eventually, I mean, I think the art with lots of value will find the buyer, and this is like a very fair market. Eventually, everything has real value will prevail in the future. So that's
Mm,
why I believe as long as we create like a very robust like ecosystem,
yeah.
the ecosystem itself will select the most valuable artwork in the ecosystem.
So there's a lot of excitement about NFTs. There's no doubt. There's a lot of criticism and a lot of apprehension as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of that apprehension is, wow, there's a lot of money that is swirling and is getting into the NFT space. And it's reminding a lot of people of the ICO craze in 2017 when everybody was flooding capital into new tokens. And then we had the celebrities. We had the celebrities that were pushing out some of these ICOs. In the same way, we're now seeing celebrities, some on your network, some on others, musicians, artists, and the rest, pushing out into NFT. Are you concerned about that aspect of it when people say, wait a second, what is this? And especially if they are regulators,
Yeah.
regulators coming in and saying, wait a second, the enormous amount of money that is coming into the space needs to be regulated. Who are these people? Who's bidding? Who's getting retention of it? And is this a real thing?
Yes. First of all, I want to remind like everybody else. when you like invest into NFT, or like just like 5 years ago, ICO space, always be aware like only invest into the money you are afford to lose. So I recommend you not to invest more than like 10% of your wealth into crypto industry in the first place. And I think the concern, we can tackle those concerns in two aspects. So first of all is the KYC AML side. So basically, definitely I believe any NFT website, as today we have like Nifty gateway, and also have other like NFT trading platform. I believe definitely the KYC ML is the first thing we should do. So those NFT websites should have the same regulation and basically anti money laundering regulations as exchange do, right? So the exchange should know like who is buying those NFTs, and who is receiving the money, where the money is goes. I think definitely this is the number one priority for the regulation on the platform. I think that's the first thing. And then the second thing I believe is the selection of those arts. We are trying to protect people's investment here. So I believe the platform should take the responsibility for the artwork selections. So that's why I think we only collaborate with good reputation people and good actors in the industry. For example, like Beeple's Arts, and also collaborate with Christie's, right? Collaborate with Jack Dorsey. So for the NFT we promote, we definitely want to take those responsible artists and the responsible platform to promote the NFT, to make sure the quality of the NFT work is also extremely important here.
Yeah, that's a really good point to note, because at the end of the day, an NFT, anybody can create an NFT, but it's
Yes,
actually the platform,
yes,
that community, right? That
yes,
marketplace essentially is what gives that value. So if it's an
exactly.
NFT from somebody unidentified and it's just there,
Yeah,
and there's no really provenance. I'll
yeah,
just use that
exactly.
word from the art world. There's no real
Yeah,
provenance
exactly.
to that NFT.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's another thing. That's a great point.
Yeah,
Let's talk about what you would have done
yeah,
with the Beeple's art, and before we go on to our next topic, but what would you have done with the Beeple's art if had you won it? What would you do if the Jack Dorsey tweet? Like, how would you, and in future when you have your NFT art collection, as it were,
yes,
how would you as a collector
yes.
be sharing that?
Yes. First of all, if I win the auction of people's art, I think the first thing I'm gonna do, I gonna build my own like online gallery. I know lots of the billionaires, they only like build their gallery offline. So this is all like on site visit. You need to come to the gallery to see all the artworks. But I think if I win the people's art, I will make, because at that time I think it's 5,000 RPCs altogether for the RPCs. So I will make this like available for everybody online, so everybody can visit these 5,000 pieces, and everybody can copy it, like share it, with my art gallery website. So I think that's is something definitely I'm gonna do. I think that's also some commitment that I can make here. So not only like people's art, but all the artworks I own in the future, I will make these available online at the first place. So it's gonna be like the easiest art pieces you can get access online in the future. So I believe, as I just said before, the value comes from the traffic, right? So if you even make like a Van Gogh's art, like distance from people, so everybody can't even get access to the arts in the first place. The art itself gonna lose like value immediately. So I'm a huge believer of sharing. So that's why I believe all the art pieces I have, I will share it online immediately, and also post it on my Twitter, like Instagram, so you can always very easy to find the link in the first place, so everybody can enjoy the artworks in the first place. So I think that's the first thing I'm gonna do. And also second thing, I think I will build, when I collect lots of arts, I will build like a community, so everybody in the community appreciate of those artworks. We can all together make decision on like which are we gonna go after, like what's the next you believe we gonna buy. So that's why I believe I want to create like a community to make like a community decision on which artwork we will buy in the future, and which like artist has most of value in the future. So I want this kind of the private art gallery. We want to turn it to like a public
Mm.
decision making process. So so basically we want to create and turn this from private to public.
Would you also buy physical art?
Yes,
Physical art and
yes,
old pieces and turn it into an NFT?
yes, I believe these two. So definitely, I think that's like something we can do in the future as well. Not like only digital arts, but also physical pieces, right? So like Picasso or Monet, Jackson Pollock. We will we can turn those classic art pieces, physical art pieces, into NFT as well.
How big of an endowment fund? How big of a fund are you planning? I mean, art Picasso's aren't 69 million. They're a lot more than that. I mean,
Yeah.
how much money are you planning on funding this idea?
It, initially, I'm thinking about taking like around like $100 million. So we will put like $100 million first to see how it goes, right? So if this goes very well and the people in the art world really appreciate, and the crypto industry people really excited, if this is really play well, I think I will put more money.
Okay, and have you thought of what you're going to call your digital museum?
Right now, I'm just thinking about Justin Gallery, Justin's Gallery.
Justin's Gallery. It's
Yeah,
self-explanatory right there.
yeah,
Well, we're going to track that. That's fascinating, and I'm sure there's a number of curators and consultants who would
yeah,
love to help you with that. But
yes,
it is very interesting space. Another interesting space is DeFi. You're also building ground and clout in DeFi, as you shared. I think $7 billion of TVL,
yeah.
total value locked
Yesterday
in
already,
DeFi.
8.5 billion. Already.
Okay, so it's every time we talk and every time you watch this, you might want to check the total amount of value locked in
Yeah,
Tron
yeah,
because it's probably changed. Two
yeah,
seconds passed, so it's probably changed
yeah,
again.
yeah.
But let's talk about the ecosystem that you're building in the DeFi space. Why are you getting traction? How are you addressing the gas fees? And what are we seeing being built up in DeFi?
Yes. First of all, I believe Tron has become like most important infrastructure in our industry. But also, of course, not only our industry, but also I think for the future generation. So today we are handle around 5 times more traffic and volume than PayPal. So PayPal only move around like $2 billion every day. So at peak, we are manage around 11 billion US dollars per day. And average, we are handling around 5 to 6 billion US dollars transaction for the transaction volume every day. So you can see not only Tron but also USDT, USDJ, BTC, Ethereum has been transact on Tron network as well. I believe this year, at the end of this year, we will handle more BTC transaction even than BTC network itself. So basically, I believe a lot of assets they're gonna use Tron network as a network they can make payment in the first place. So that's why I believe that's how we get a lot of traction in the first place.
Yeah.
So you can use Tron network to transact your assets instantly with almost zero fee. So that's
Yeah.
I think is always our biggest advantages. And also, second thing is we want to build Tron network a very powerful DeFi network. So you can not only use the money on the Tron network to transact those assets, basically send from A to B, but also you can lend those assets, you can borrow those assets, you can put as a collateral and get stable coin. You can put, for example, BTC on Tron and get USDT, and you can pay back the BTC and also can get BTC. And also at the same time, you can lend to earn interest. You can borrow and pay interest. You can just use Tron Network as a place you can generate revenue, just like banks. And you can also borrow assets from the Tron Network. And also, we are trying to build a very large network today. So right now, we have over 8.5 billion dollars assets on our
Hmm.
platform right now. And I believe it's gonna grow to $100 billion within the next 5 years. So I believe the Tron ecosystem itself is become like a very self-sustainable ecosystem in the
Mm.
future. So everybody in Tron network they can build a very powerful ecosystem in our network.
Well, the overall the concept of DeFi has just really gained a lot of traction since the GameStop incident, which, by the way, you also invested in. Are
Yes.
you still holding GameStop? And we already know that just there's this incredible influx of retail investors who became really frustrated when trading was stopped, and that really catapulted a lot of people into DeFi, into crypto. Do you think that that's going to continue?
Yes. First of all, I believe GameStop is even like volatile than more volatile than like a Bitcoin world. So the first 3 days I invest into GameStop, I lose almost all my money. So I have like a 90% loss. I buy around like $280. It's dropped to like I think 30 and $40. So in 3 days, and then after I think like 2 weeks, it's pumped back to like $300. I even earned some money from the GameStop investment. Uh, so if you are not like having like a very strong heart, I don't encourage you to stop invest into GameStop. So you can lose like 90% of your money like in 3 days and get it back in two weeks. So I think
But
the
what was interesting, Justin, about that
yeah,
though is more of the movement itself. We've seen this in crypto. We have seen it on Reddit boards. We have seen just this type of communication on social media, of which you're really good at.
yeah,
But this all lives in the social media space. The sentiment of
Yes.
traders. And that
Yeah.
really was introduced to a broader market, the Wall Street market, that
Yes.
did not experience that before. For
Exactly.
those who are just starting to realize the impact of this new breed of
Yes.
traders,
Yes.
describe them. This is your generation. Describe this generation of digital traders who are, more than just retail, but there's a broader context that should be shared.
Yes, definitely. I think this is a trend in the future. So basically, the younger generation people, they are willing to make their own decision on trading. So instead of like put all their money in the pension fund, mutual fund, and hedge fund, and let those funds trade for themselves, they would rather just trade on couch with the Robinhood apps in their on mobile phone. So that's why those trading can be like very volatile, and also at the same time they make those decisions based on their own like sentiment and their own judgment of the stocks, because everybody these days is very easy access to stock trading in the first place. Because before, like Robinhood, people needs to open their computer, right? And then like trading based on the financial analyst analysis. These days people can very easy just trade on the mobile phone while they might like driving home, and based on the advice of their friends and based on the news they just saw on the internet. So that's why the whole trading behavior changed like dramatically. So that's why the social media sentiment is extremely important for the future generation and for the future traders. I know some of the Wall Street like traders may think this is not okay, right? They feel more comfortable for people to trading. Maybe they need to wear like a suit and then sit on the Bloomberg terminal, right? And then made all the financial decision based on like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, like in financial advice, right? But I believe this is like the trend for the future. Not only United States, but also in China, we see the same trend. You know, like Futu, right, is extremely popular these days in Hong Kong. Like everybody trade their stocks on Futu instead of like
Yep.
Bloomberg terminal, right? So
Yep.
so and
This is
those
kind of like a Robinhood. This is a digital online
yeah.
brokerage house. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. This is like the future generation. People gonna invest based on this kind of the sentiment in the first place, and all the stock they're gonna pay attention to is the one who really have social media contraction. So that's why I mean, even Coinbase start to talking about they gonna uh, make their roadshow on Reddit instead of I mean in the physical or like a traditional channel of this kind of the roadshow in the future. I believe in the future we're gonna see some like very big company CEO gonna do their AMA in Twitter or Telegram, right? Instead of in traditional this kind of the phone call like channel with the
Yep.
with investor from investment banks. So that's why I believe this kind of the paradigm shift will shape the future way how we communicate with investor, how we communicate the company strategy with everyone in the future, which I believe is definitely a progress. Because in the future, investor definitely demand like a more frequent communication and more transparency of the company, right? So I
Yeah.
definitely believe a company CEO communicate with their investor in social media will definitely have more transparent and more frequent communication with their investor in the first place. So which I think in the long term, this is even like a better way.
And how should we be thinking about China here? I mean, your in your biography, it notes that Jack Ma. We all know Jack Ma, founder of one of the founders of
Yes.
Alibaba.
Yeah.
And he started Hupon University. This is a corporate business school located in Hangzhou, where
Yeah.
Alibaba is based.
Yeah.
And he hand selected you
Yeah.
to study there.
Yes.
What did you know in that group, the next generation of Chinese founders and entrepreneurs? What is the next generation in China thinking about crypto?
First of all, I believe the younger generation in China will embrace crypto eventually. But right now, so I believe we still have some like regulatory concerns needs to clear before we can move to mass adoption. But I definitely feel this gonna coming. This gonna come. First of all, I can give you some example. So first of all, I'm the advisor to several Chinese government institution on blockchain. I know like Chinese government is very familiar with blockchain, and they trying to find a good way out without like disturb the current regulation on foreign currencies. We all know those regulations in China, and also we seen China central bank start the virtual currency project in China and start to use this as a way to basically trade other traditional assets inside of mainland China. So basically, I believe in the future we will definitely see a lot of progress happen in mainland China. But I believe the first gonna start from Hong Kong, of course. So Hong Kong is part of China, but more like a special region. So that's why I think lots of the things Chinese want to do, they will put in Hong Kong first to try it out, right? And
Mm.
to reduce the financial impact it's gonna have in the mainland China.
But there's already considered regulation and new policy that proposes restricting crypto trading for retail investors.
Yes.
And we've also seen Weibo recently banning the accounts of Binance and OKX and Huobi. And is your Weibo account back online or is it still offline? I mean,
My
these
report is back online. Yeah, its
see,
name is
so so
Sun Ge Shuo. Yeah.
so it's just an example of how how still really tentative
Yeah.
China appears to be on specifically crypto. And
Yes.
so where what what can we expect, especially since the China, as we know, is top down, and yet there's a generation that is a little bit more open to crypto. And to your case in point, what's happening in Hong Kong could very well be a test case for
Yes.
China.
Yes, Hong Kong recently, as we all know, they start to issue like license for OTC crypto trading in Hong Kong. So as we all know these days, Hong Kong's policy is highly like related to mainland China. So every policy they adopt, they need to get approval from central government in the first place. So that's why I believe this is definitely a one of important moment for Hong Kong crypto trading. But of course, right now Hong Kong don't allow like retail trading of crypto as well. So they only issue license for OTC, which is credit investor to invest
Mhm.
into crypto. And also, of course, we see like a Hong Kong public trade company, Meitu, also start to
Mhm.
invest into Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's why I believe definitely I'm optimistic about the crypto future in Asia. So we see Hong Kong as a place, right? So start to embrace crypto, and after I believe if we have positive feedback from Hong Kong, we will start to see a change in mainland China. And for the Weibo account like shutdown for Huobi and Binance, I believe this is more like Weibo's decision, like rather than like anything related to government regulation. Because right now these days, like Weibo is always try to control the financial risk they might take in their platform. So not only I think crypto, but also Weibo shut down a lot of the stock like price analysis account in Weibo as well, because Weibo generally think like stock price analysis is also kind of like risk, because if people like lose money, they're gonna blame like Weibo for have those account in the first place. So that's why feel like this is more like Weibo's own decision on financial risk control, rather than a government like regulation on those accounts. And also, I feel like optimistic eventually in crypto in China. First of all, China is a very innovation friendly country. I think like ByteDance, and also Tencent, Alibaba, Meituan also gained a lot of success in China. So I believe like China will eventually embrace this blockchain innovation.
Before I let you go, I gotta ask you about one more auction. You're very famous for winning and being close to winning auctions, but that $4.5 million one for lunch date with Warren Buffett in
Yes,
January 2020, before COVID shut the whole world down.
yes,
It he is one detractor of crypto that has not changed his mind, nor his very close friend Bill
yes,
Gates. How
yes.
important are these voices in crypto adoption? What were those conversations that you had with Warren Buffett, and what are the kind of questions he asked you about?
Yes. First of all, look back, I feel like I'm so lucky to arrange the dinner with him in January, right? So if like in March or something, it's might like get canceled again, because of the COVID. So first of all, I believe Warren Buffett, Bill Gates' opinion is definitely extremely important for our industry. I believe they have a huge power. If they recognize crypto earlier, we might even get to mass adoption way like even earlier than what we have done like today, right? But always, I mean, just as I predict, I believe if Warren Buffett are not like willing to get into crypto, eventually Warren Buffett's son and Warren Buffett's grandson will get into crypto eventually some days. So we already seen like after Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, they are not like recognize the value of crypto. But Elon Musk is willing to put like 1.5 billion like US dollars right into crypto, and his investment already get like 100% return, right? So that's why I believe eventually like everybody in the like top Forbes like 400 list will recognize the like the value of crypto, right? Even right now, I mean, today we only have like maybe Elon Musk himself in that list, but eventually, I think 80% of the people in the Forbes 400 will start to recognize the value of crypto.
What did he ask you about crypto? Anything specific?
I think the biggest concern Warren Buffett
Mhm.
have for crypto is crypto don't have dividend. So I believe the Warren Buffett invest philosophy is heavily depend on the dividend. So he is a huge believer for dividend. So he believe like you can get the crypto, uh, uh, not the crypto, you can get the investment back, not because of the volatility of the stock price, which is of course is unpredictable. So he is willing to get the price back based on the dividend from the stock in the first place. You can see like all the stocks he is willing to invest, like for example, like Apple, is those companies has a huge amount of cash on the bank account and willing to give like dividend to the investor all along the way. So basically, after 10 years, he can make the money back, not because of the volatility of the stock, but because of the dividend he can receive from those stock in the first place. So that's why when he look at Bitcoin, he said like there's no, the only like thing you can depend on Bitcoin is the volatility of the Bitcoin price, but you can't get like any reward back uh, 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 because of the investment you put into crypto. So that's why I even take Warren Buffett advice. So when I invented Tron, so Tron is also a crypto you can staking and get reward in the first place. So today, like if you participate in the governance of Tron network, you can get the block reward from the Tron network in the first place. So that's something I think is I learned from Warren Buffett in the first place.
You going to name that reward after Warren Buffett?
Yes, maybe we can take this mechanism to like a Warren Buffett block reward.
Let's see if he'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yes.
maybe just his initials and a nod to the story.
Yes.
Do you hope to be one of the a future digital version of Warren Buffett? What how are you amassing not only your corporate wealth but your personal wealth?
Yes. First of all, I believe in the future, blockchain is definitely still our main focus. But also, I think I will start to allocate my personal wealth and other like company wealth into place can help the crypto bridge the crypto to the traditional world. So that's why we take lots of money and we want to invest into NFT and the traditional art in the first place, because I think this is a very good window we can connect crypto with traditional arts and the mass adoption in the first place.
Well, we are looking forward to our invitation to the inauguration of Justin's Museum,
Yes.
and we'll be personally interested at Forecast to see what's hanging on the digital wall.
Yes.
But until then, we will see you again at GBA Blockchain Week. It was a pleasure speaking with you here, Justin. It will be a pleasure speaking with you at Blockchain Week. And I want to thank you for now for joining us on Word on the Block and this latest episode.
Thanks everyone.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us on this latest episode of Word on the Block. I'm Forecast News Editor in Chief Angie Lau. Until the next time.